At times it didn't look like it, especially in the second half, but we had a ton of respect for Texas Southern. Got a lot of respect for Johnny Jones, respect his players. I know we had players that were from Georgia, so there's always going to be an added bonus to that. And anytime a team goes into Baylor, and anytime a team goes into Oregon and gets wins like that, you can't help but respect them. So I said to him after the game, you got an NCAA tournament team. I don't think there's any reason to believe any differently. And so it's a very good win for us. But like anything else, in November and December and maybe during the year, there's a lot of things we got to get better at. But to get a win like that tonight is a good thing for us.
Questions?
Saying that Texas Southern is an NCAA team, does this win over them mean that Georgia is?
Well, I think I'm going to let that one go because they're in a different league than we're in.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I make a comment like that, I'm making a comment out of respect. I'm not making a comment in a comparison stake. Okay? I'm giving respect to Texas Southern. So that's not a question that I think has got a lot of, it's a hypothetical. And I'm not real good with hypotheticals. Right now I'm just trying to get my team better. All right, than to worry about the NCAA tournament that's way down the road. So if I'm going to need to fix how I talk and not give credit to other teams, all right, then I'm fine doing that as well. But that's a hypothetical. So if you have another one, I'd be happy to answer it, but that's not one I have an answer for. Do you have another one? Do you have another question? I'm serious. I mean, it's a hypothetical. Do you have another one about the game?
How do you think this team has improved? I know when you talked at the beginning of the season, you talked that you were focused in improving every single area. Is there a certain area that you could highlight that you think is better?
No. I think we're just, it's everything has got to get better, right? I mean, it's no different than any other point in time. I think there were some really good signs of cohesiveness defensively. There was good ball movement. 18 assists on 32 field goals is good, especially when we're not a huge assist team because there's so much driving to it. Thought the guys found some plays tonight inside of the game that were good, but there's no question it's a constant evaluation about how do we get better. There's not any one thing right now that I would look at and say this is our identity. We have this consistently, and we've got to build on that. This is the first time we've won after a win in a short season. And we've got to learn how to play with leads. We've got to learn how to have what they view as success and build on it and get better from it. And all those things become the fundamentals and the details of the game. There's a lot of room for improvement, and the good news is I think they buy into that. And really don't have much of a choice, but I mean they buy into it, and we're pretty clear on what those things have got to be.
Coach, in one of my earlier conversations with Tyree, you talked about one of your messages to him was becoming more aggressive player, not so much maybe in shot selection or anything like that, just becoming a more, kind of player who's going to really kind of make a statement.
Yeah, he's got to, we've got to keep making the game simple at times. We're trying to become a better ball screen team, and we want to get downhill in the sense without the ball screen, but we don't have a team full of guys that are very good at that yet. So we got to add more ball screens. So sometimes that aggressiveness is not just coming off the ball screen looking for your shot, it's looking for the roll. It's making that quick next pass. There were times tonight we did that. I thought, one thing you want with a guy like Tyree, I say this all the time about really good shooters, you want them to get lost in the game, right? You want their movement to be so good that the defense has trouble keeping track of him, right? Because everybody knows he can shoot. And so we're trying to get him off the ball more. We're trying to get him the ball more when the game is moving, rather than just started out in the point situation. And I think there were some times tonight he got some threes and got some open looks because he was really moving well without the ball. And the aggressive part is having his feet ready and his hands ready and getting his range a little bit better at times. So proud of the way he played.
How quickly did you identify Tyree as an explosive scorer? I mean, what's your philosophy on a shot hierarchy? Is there such a thing in your offense?
No, it's shots that they can make that we take in practice. We're not we'll manufacture some shots at the rim, but we're not going to manufacture many shots on the perimeter. We work too hard at shooting, and we feel like there's enough validity with the way we can move the ball in our spacing that we shouldn't have to do that. So I think we spend a lot of time looking at each shot. With him, it comes down to footwork some. I wouldn't say there's a hierarchy. I would say there becomes a comfort level that you have inside of a certain game, like tonight. And I thought he did a really good job of playing through fatigue because we played him some extended minutes. And certainly the threes help. there's also the threat of the three. And we don't have a ton of guys that there's a ton of three threat to them right now. And it's getting better, but it's not where it's got to be. So we want to definitely move him. We want to get him off screens. We want to get him lost in the game, like I said. We want him looking for the ball. I think it creates a lot of openings for everybody else. And I